Greetings, my friends, and welcome to a brand new campaign summary for episode 72 of the Russia campaign. Now, we haven't been at the Russian campaign for a very, very long time, and I think I also need to jog my memory of what's been going on as well, because there's been a lot going on when I've been sort of looking, just surveying what's happening before I started to begin the episode proper. There's a terrific amount going on, there really, really has, and it may not seem a lot in the first instance, but when you sort of dig down, you delve deep into what is actually going on. We've got a lot of sort of geopolitical aspects to take into position here, but as you can see, the main sort of operation that's going on here is against Venice. Now, have been at war with Venice for a long time, and we decided, with the council's behest, to move in. As you can see here, we've got this huge force. We've committed to taking Venice, and as you can see, the fighting for it has been absolutely brutal. We've committed some of our finest troops here, as you can see, the Russian Semonevsky guards. We've got some, these are, look at this, down to 12 men for the rifle scouts here. Look at that, down to 41 marines. So as you can tell, the battle here was absolutely brutal, and these are the remnants of the Venetian forces that were engaged in that battle. Now, you do still have forces in the port attached to the navy here, and also within the city itself, but they've been well and truly beaten, and they've taken a real thrashing here. But we also have taken a real battering. We really have. As you can see here, a lot of our units down to very, very small amounts here. It's taken a huge commitment for ourselves. In fact, I say this is probably the only army that's in any good shape here. It's going to cost us a few gold pieces to get ourselves back into good order, but we are going to commit to that. We need to take Venice here. They've been an absolute thorn in our side. Constant raiding in the previous years, and we decided that was enough, and the council decided, Mally, you need to deal with Venice once and for all. Now, as you can see, we've pushed them onto Spanish soil here in Lombardy, Milan. As you can see, we are allied with Spain. Spain has its own problems with a war with Prussia. Now, we are at the moment at peace with Prussia, but that peace is, shall we say, tentative. We are very friendly with them, as you can see here. Let's have a look. They're at war with Spain and with Genoa. And the allies are Denmark, Sweden, Mughal Empire, Britain and Italian states. So the chances are one of these may declare war upon us if we were to move against the Prussians. And we're very, very friendly with them. As you can see, plus 124. So our relationship is incredibly strong. In fact, it's probably one of our most stable, sort of not alliances, but non-alliances, as it was, Prussia. We're friendly with Great Britain as well. Sweden is also an ally of ours as well, so that's going to be a dichotomy for them. But as you can see here, Spain and Prussia are at war with one another. Here, look at this, on this border skirmish that's already, I think, already seen one of the Prussian forces beaten back quite heavily here, and this army is not in good strength, good shape either. The chances are this Spanish force would probably steamroll this Prussian force. To be honest with you, I'm surprised how we haven't seen further incursions by the Spanish, who are much, much stronger. Look at that. I mean, that is something to behold, that army. I mean, that army would steamroll pretty much anything in its path. And look at the quality of the troops the Spanish have. Is exemplary, it really is. Now, they do have some problems here, but as you can see, I think these are more defence-minded armies here in Gibraltar. But they do control the Gibraltar Straits. They are allies with them, so our trade does flow freely here. Also, yep, their navy is quite powerful as well, which is good to see. And of course, they do have the Portugal under control. Look at that. That's a hefty army there as well. Now, they are being struck here by the Persians, I beg your pardon, who they are at war with. But I'm surprised that hasn't been kicked back there. But I'm assuming that will come eventually. They also control, as you can see, all of North Africa is under their control. We've got Morocco under Spanish control, Algiers, and also Tunis, and also Tripoli as well. So they control all of North Africa. Egypt here, of course, is under our own control here. We control all of the Middle East, up to and including Esfahan, which is Persia. We are at war with Persia. They have been they've been a thorn in our side. As you can see here, we've got this huge battle looming where we have effectively trapped the majority of the Persian forces, the majority of what is left of their main forces here in and around Tbilisi. Now, of course, they could escape through here, through Ganya here, and all the way through the coast road, moving down through into Azerbaijan. But because we've taken Esfahan, Persia, we've effectively stopped the production of their military efforts. We've installed a very, very heavy presence here, as you can see here. We really have got a very powerful force here. Now looks like they're mustering forces towards us, and it also looks like they're going to try and hit Baghdad themselves. As you can see here, they've really come into sort of Mesopotamia quite aggressively here. So it looks like we're going to have quite a few problems. We are moving this force down here to engage, try and do some damage, but I think we need this army to sit where it is. So I think we will, when we come to the proper episode, we will just leave the gentlemen to replenish. Because you can see here, they've taken a bit of a beating here. There's been a fight going on here. There's a chance if we don't engage here, then the Baghdad could become surrounded. But to be honest with you, I think we have Baghdad well and truly defended so well, they would probably destroy all these armies moving against us here. And we have, look at that, we can actually replenish and repair that and put it into good use. And of course, they do have Slav Azerbaijan, but if these armies are taken here and dealt with, as you can see, we've pushed very aggressively here into Chechnya and established look at that force there, my goodness me. That is a really powerful force we've mustered there. Also, this army here is taking, look at that, even we've got the great Tsar cannon here, 64 pounders. This as well as engaging, look at the battle here we had here around here as well. They moved forces in to try and dislodge us from this location here, but we fought really valiantly here. And again, this army is also going to need replenishing, repairing, as you can see here. Not too much. We've also got additional forces being here moved into here. Look at that, look at the Tsar cannon. So we're going to move this army down as well in the Chechnya. Additional forces being moved down from Moscow, which again is the main, look at the spider's web here of roads leading from Moscow to all corners of the empire. So as you can see on the map here, we control a vast swathe of the world, basically. That's no exaggeration, to be honest with you. We do control a great swathe of the world, including a very important port here, which is St. Petersburg's port here. Kronstadt here, as you can see, look at the income here, 52,000 here coming into us. It's extraordinary, it really is. And also Great Britain has got an equal amount of money coming in and out as well from here. So I think Great Britain is very friendly with us because of the massive amount of trade we do with them. We do a huge amount of trade with them. And they've got a lot of trade flowing in and out from this location here, as you can see. So that means they're probably taking from Sweden as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, indeed, 88,000 here. But I don't believe Great Britain has got any problem that they're allies with. They're not. Oh, they're at war with Prussia. So that's why Prussia has hit this trade line here to try and do some damage to Great Britain. But Prussia is very powerful as well. They got some very powerful fleets. So we have been trying to build our fleets up as well here, as you can see. Look at that. That's an absolute huge fleet. And what I've kind of understand is why the Sweden has got this fleet here. I think they might have been chased away by the Prussians. I don't think they'll move down into here unless they do, of course. They do have access to our waters. And look at the Prussian fleets here. Oh, wait, that is not to be taken lightly at all. As you can see, even when they've got these frigates, they'll still give us an absolute monstrous time. And of course, Spain is besieging here. We've got another powerful army here. But as you can see, the Prussians might have a lot of income, and they might have a huge amount in terms of their empire is vast. But when you delve deep into what they have available to them in terms of their military, it's not that impressive. I mean, this army is not too bad. The lifeguards here are extraordinary, and Guard the Corps here. But if you really dig down into it, look at these forces here. They haven't retrofitted any of these units here at all. Even some of them are still taking a little bit down. Look at this. I mean, it's not something that's going to make you quake in your boots. Let's be honest here. And they've got the Swiss line infantry, but look at this. They've not retrofitting it here. They've got a lot of militia. Still got some pikemen here. They haven't even brought up the cannon to full strength, which is surprising. So even though they are going, I mean, the fight for this would be so tough. That army there is quite decent there, but only one artillery piece. And again, look at that, all cavalry. So even though the tough fight would be tough because they've got the sheer amount of forces they're able to muster. In terms of individual armies, there's nothing really we can be quaking our boots about, to be honest with you. As you can see here, we're hitting the trade line here as well with Venice, so we have trying to crush their income as well economically, but we control pretty much from, well, pretty much the Mediterranean here in this basin here. We also got, of course, Istanbul under our control, Ankara is under our control. We control a huge swathe of the world, all the Balkans is under our control, even pushing slightly into sort of Central Europe as well. That's our sort of pinnacle until we take Venice here. Then we're moving into sort of the west of Europe here, but sort of almost the underbelly of Europe, as it were, here through Italy, through Venice. But of course, we've just got to keep an eye on things. We don't become too complacent. Also, in the New World, we do control the vast majority of the Caribbean is under our control. All the islands here, Punta, Trinidad and Tobago. We've even got the Dutch and French Guyana is under our control. They're bringing in a good amount of income there for us as well. So it's exceptional to see. We've also controlled Newfoundland here. We just got a footprint here in North America as well. Mind you, look at that, the Inuit nations. That's going to be a tough fight there to take, because these are extraordinarily powerful hand-to-hand fighters, and I can't even begin to tell you how difficult a fight that's going to be. That's going to be an exceptionally tough fight. I mean, the medicine men are elite infantry. When they get into close combat, they're pretty much unbreakable. The same can be said here for these warriors as well. Warriors, Native American, they really are tough. I know that the charge bonus and melee attack. I mean, look at that melee attack 14. That's so tough. 16 here. They're absolutely astonishingly good hand-to-hand fight. Probably the best in the world. But as you can see here, Great Britain is an absolute titan in North America. It is huge, even extending into South America, as you can see here. Battling, I believe. They're not at war with Spain anymore. I don't know, they're not. But my goodness me. I was not expecting them to be that. I mean, look how powerful they are, all the way down here to Guatemala. And they've just got a huge, huge empire here in North America and Canada as well. So although they've just got sort of Great Britain here, and they've also got the two regions here in India, which is Orissa and Calcutta, which doesn't look very much. When you go into the New World, they're huge. They are the predominant power. But also we are at war with the Mughal Empire. And as you can see, the Mughal Empire are dominant here. They really are incredibly strong. But we are within touching distance here, within striking distance of possibly moving onto the border of Naroon and Lahore here. If we take Afghanistan and we take Baluchistan as well. So we've got a real long fight ahead of us here, particularly here as well. But I'm going to end this particular campaign summary, my friends, and we're going to delve now deep into the campaign proper. So I shall see you next, my friends, in episode 72 of the Russian campaign. Greetings and welcome to episode 72 of my Empire Total War Darth Mod Russia campaign. This, my friends, I did last time, where we've now had that campaign summary, my friends. We've now sort of gone over where we stand, where our enemies and our allies stand now. But now we need to do is to replenish and repair our armies in and around Venice. That's the critical thing we must do here, because they did take a real beating here. We've only got 49,000, as you can see. I mean, look at our tax income, 226,000, but our outgoings for army, keeping the army going, is 235,000. So all of our tax and more is swallowed up by keeping our army. Our navy, luckily, is not a vast sort of encumbrance on our economy, because we do have trade of 80,000, maybe 100,000. Unless, of course, one of them is being hit. Yes, indeed, in Europe here is one of them was being cut off here. The cotton here, I believe it's probably the Prussians attacking the Swedes. Oh no, it's probably the Spanish hitting the trade line there from Prussia. As you can see, a cotton. But look at the income here we've got. 33,000 for Prussia. That's how important they are as a trade partner. So we can't really do anything to them yet until we know we can strike and crack open these defences pretty rigidly, because ideally the spine here they've got in Central Europe would be ideal target for us. but we have to break it with an almighty powerful force. These aren't enough to break this in one go. They're just not. Also, we'd probably have to look to invade via sea as well. So it'd be a naval invasion as well as a ground invasion as well. So that's going to be a pretty tough sort of logistical operation as well to unlock. Because although we'd be friendly with them, we'd manage to get past these ships here. You know, we'd have to then sort of move into maybe an allied port here. But then again, Prussia and Sweden are allies, so they're not going to give that up. But we could always move up to here. We could always move up to here, blockade with one of our fleets here. We've got a fleet, if I'm not mistaken, here. We're sort of constructing here from this steam dry dock here, which we'll probably put on them. We'll probably blockade the Baltic Sea so those forces couldn't get through, at least not without a fight anyway. But let's focus on the here and now. So what we need to do is we need to get these forces up to full strength, because we've got another battle on our way. And you can absolutely guarantee you it's going to be as tough as the last one, because, I mean, look at the battle. Look at how much damage it caused last time. It's extraordinary. And this force here took a real pasting. And this is one of our finest forces as well, including the Tsar great cannon as well. So, as you can imagine, I think that's okay. Here, this army is being replenished. This army is being replenished as well. This army here is being replenished. This army is probably the one army we do have that is almost completely untouched here. That's okay. We might have to pull another force, I think, from the front lines. Perhaps this force here, or maybe something from Hungary, which really is our sort of anchor here in the central sort of defensive belt. I think that force here might be pulled down into the attack here. It's a very, very powerful force, as you can see, packed to the rafters with Marines. Awesome, but this has got to be one of our finest forces, probably in the western, on the sort of the western front, as it were. We might pull them in here to finish the job, I think, and then reconstitute them if we get any damage. I think we'll just pull this force down here briefly, and then we've got this army here, which we're I think in the middle of constructing here. Yeah, they can cross that there. That's excellent. We recruiting anything here? We're not at the moment, so we'll just hold off until we get some more money in here. But again, we're just sort of juggling our resources. But the problem is this wide front we've got here. Look at the size of the front here that these armies would have to cover if they push through to us. We've got an army here that's sort of ready to push in. We've got these two armies here, and again, these aren't at full strength either, so we need to correct this. Moscow is always going to be protected no matter what. We're going to have a force in Moscow no matter what happens, and including the backup force here. But we've got St. Petersburg well and truly hunkered down here. This really is an important trade port for us, so it's vital we hold on to it. Again, we've got to build this army up into something as well, and we might actually put these together, I think. Let's put these gentlemen together. That's more like it. And I think we need some more infantry here as well, which we will get. Let's just plug the gap here between Luga and Kronstadt. We've got a very powerful naval force here as well. We're building a second one here to defend the Baltic. I'm not sure what all these Danish forces are doing here. Every single one of them's got an army in it. I'm not sure why they're outside Karelia. That does vex me. Now, Norway. Denmark, I beg your pardon. Norway, Denmark, I beg your pardon, my friends. We're allies with Sweden and Prussia. They're trade partners with us, but they're not at war with anybody yet. I'm not sure. Maybe Prussia could use them as a proxy in their war against us. So we've got to be careful of that, at least. But apart from that, I think everything's just ticking over quite nicely. Remember, we're just building our economy. Let's just check the trade lines. Do we have plenty in the trade line? Nothing in East Indies. Nothing in the Strait of Madagascar either. I don't think we managed to get anything into in the trade lines, to be honest, which is a shame. So eventually, if we are at war with one of the nations, we might just send a scout ship in to see what's going on. We also have a powerful fleet here as well. I know why. Because we've got this Persian naval fleet here completely cut off. And they're raiding our trade lines. That's the reason why. In here. So they're raiding this trade line here between Odessa here and out into the wider in here. And so between Odessa and Alexandria, there's that trade line, and also just going off here as well from Latika as well, Latikaya. I've got a glaive up here in Masol as well, and off Syria. So we might have to bring another fleet into here. We don't have many fleets, that's the problem. Look at that, and there's another fleet in here as well from Persia. So as you can see, this fleet here would struggle against all of these fleets if they're thrown against it. So we need to probably send an additional fleet in here. Now we've got this fleet here as well, which we could probably send into the Black Sea to help bring things under control. But at the moment it's on operations here, just drain the Venetian resources here. We can't blockade here either because there's a powerful navy there as well. Right, let's end the turn, my friends. Let's see what happens. I think we've got everything we need here. We have indeed. Our ministers are just extraordinary ministers. I mean, look at that for the naval minister. My goodness me. Wonderful. Even the monarch, the Tsar, is an absolute wonder. 74%. So we're doing pretty well here at the moment. We've just got to crack Venice. We really do have to crack them here. Hope we can do that soon. Let's end the turn, my friends, see what happens here. We're moving quite a few units to and fro here, including the ministers and priests, to try and sort of counteract any other insurgencies, should we say. Spain, who are allies of ours, and they have been very strong allies of ours. And they have been sort of keeping Prussia in check, so to speak, which is always good to see. Oh, that's excellent. Now they've pushed down that. So that should open up the trade there for us. So that might be another reason why we've lost a fair bit of money as well, because that Spanish trade line was being hit there by the Persians. So they're bringing their forces together here. Difficult to ascertain what's going on here with Spain, but so they're going to merge their armies together here on the outside of the port. Oh, look at that. It would be excellent for us to see them take... Ooh. And they got a full army on there. If they were to invade Persia as well, what a joy that would be. I think Spain probably more to have a look at what's going on with that fight there. As you can see, they're heading towards that location. Well, I'll be Spain moving against the Venetians. They destroy the rest of those forces. That's a wonder. Oh, Spain really pushing now. Looks like Spain taking the offensive here. They might move against the Persians. That'd be a wonder to see. What's Prussia doing here? They've got still got some huge armies at their disposal, as you can see there. So it would be such a tough fight, even with the sort of the quality they have. The quality isn't at the highest sort of peak quality, but it'd still be a tough fight. Oh, look at that! Good grief, they gave the Spanish a right pasting there. My goodness me. That was a fight and a half there. They really did them a lot of damage. Again, we're keeping our sides out of this. We're just going to keep ourselves under the radar, as it were, in terms of the fighting. Persia. It looks like they're going to try and they're probably going to pull those forces out. Or maybe not. I got a feeling they might try and push out of there. In fact, they're going to move again. Look at that. they're sending forces up to try. I wonder if they're going to move against Baghdad at all, or are they? Oh, I would say I would say an attack on Baghdad is pretty imminent. If they want to hit one of our ports here, that's absolutely fine. What? Why would we give you 24,000? We don't mind a peace treaty. I mean, that is acceptable, but not at 24,000. Not a chance. Not a chance, sir. Yeah, we wish to bargain with you, sir, but not at 24,000 gold. I'm afraid that is going to be rejected out of hand. That's a lot of... We'll of course take a peace treaty, but we're not going to pay... No, absolutely not. We're not going to be paying 32,000. It looks like the Mughals are now moving in to help the Persians. Well, I'll be... Oh... Would you look at that? We're not ready for that fight just yet. This army's taken a heck of a beating. So we're not ready for that fight. We're gonna reject that fight there. And these have also taken a bit of a beating here, but they are in better shape than us. I don't really want to take these fights unless we absolutely have to here. They're trying to draw us into a fight here. We're going to reject that as well. We need to get those armies up to full strength before we... Gentlemen. Then we wish to bargain with you, but not at that cost. We're not going to be paying enemies gold so you can rearm with our gold. It's not going to happen there, sir. No. Excellent. Persia's seeing a rearmament here, which is excellent to see. It really is. Because I know we did lose a number of cannon in that fight. And we got this here in Persia as well. We're not going to allow the Persians here. Look at this force here. We've got to get it replenished here. We can't be caught on the hop here. And it looks like Baghdad is the next target here. We're not going to repair any of these here. Excuse me, my friends, because that's just throwing money away. And also, we're not going to put 6,000 into steam here because we know that'll be lost. The same here. Into the hinterlands here, that's not too bad, but we're not going to be throwing money into things we know are going to be raided instantaneously. We've got trade here, hopefully that'll be 3 tons full. That's of maximum capacity here, so that'll increase that substantially. Where else here? Egypt. Ah, there it is. So we'll increase this here. Got that economy. We've got to find that equilibrium there, that balance between economy and also making sure our military is absolutely spot on. Why are these gentlemen here just loitering here in Serbia is a mystery. I think we're going to move these gentlemen up here because having an army of this magnitude just sat here doing absolutely nothing at all makes no sense. So I think we'll have them join the move into Venice. It'll take them a while to get there, but still, the experience will do them good here. We want to build like a hardened core of armies here that can really do some damage. And I think we'll replenish that as we'll repair this port here. Just a statement. Now we've got to bring these armies up to full strength. Look at that. They've come right... They've actually moved into that there. We've allowed them to move into there, but that's absolutely fine. That's because that suits us just right there. Now, Italian states, can we get some trade with them, I wonder? No, China were hostile with us. I know we can go... Oh, I doubt very much they're going to give us anything at all. No, I didn't think so. That's absolutely fine. They're +4. I wonder if we can get peace with them now, because that would nullify... Then again, that might hit our trade... We're hitting them in the trade nose, because you can see here they've landed 2 powerful forces, or they're about to land 2 powerful forces here in Persia and help the Persians out here. We've got a long way to go here on this Persian campaign, we really do. It's going to be a heck of a fight, I don't mind telling you. So what we might do is prepare this force here, get this force up to full strength. I think probably some more cannon will do us good here, I think. So we'll put some more 24 pounders into production. Let's try and get a good balanced army here. Two lots of 20, 2 lots of 24, and I think some more infantry, because infantry I think is going to be the backbone here of what we need here, indeed. And there any other, same again, we need more cavalry here. As I said, Esfahan is now going to become the sort of the principal production centre for our military assets. Oh, look at that, they're way behind you. We need more infantry here as well. So another infantry unit here is to be trained. We've got to make sure these armies are ready to punch. What we'll do is we'll leave probably an army here to defend this army here, and we will then send the rest of this army group out to sort of move against all these forces here. But we've got to pick our fight, because we've got forces in the south, we've got forces in sort of the east, some heading north, as you can see here. So we've got, my goodness me, it's going to be a huge fight against the Persians. We've got this army here, which does need to be completely replenished. If we can unleash this force and sort of take the fight to them here, that would be an absolute wonder. And of course, we've got Basra, which has been blockaded. So we're losing a decent amount of money from some of these places we can't replenish and also use operationally. I think that's all we can do at the moment. We're just waiting for these armies here to be fully ready to move, and once they are at full strength we can then move and final operation here and conduct that final push against Venice. As you can see, the Spanish did us an absolute wonder here. They destroyed the last remnants of these Venetian forces that were in their territory. How about Britain here? Britain is also not at full strength either, if you notice. They've got a wonderful army here, but look at this. It's not at full strength by any means. Neither is this army here. In fact, all of their armies are suffering attrition. And they do have some wonderful forces, my goodness me. Right, let's end the turn here, my friends. How about Sweden? They're just keeping themselves at arm's length here, keeping themselves out of any fights, which is fair enough. Again, they're suffering attrition as well. So a lot of these forces can't actually keep financing the armies they have in the field. We can, because we're looking after our money here. And we've actually, that trade has gone up, so has the trade opened up again? Just about here. But we've got to keep these fleets hemmed in here. That's why we've got this fleet here across here. Right, let's end the turn, my friends. Let's just see what happens here in Venice. They probably might move against us again. If we're ready, we might take the fight, but we're not going to be ready yet at all. If they want, I think we'll just... Yeah, we're going to take some hits here, but we've got to do that, yeah. We lost 301 men against 35. How is that possible? But that army's gone at least. We can properly replenish that army now. This episode is going to be more of a sort of rebuilding episode. Even here, look at this. We need to replenish this army, and these armies here need to have some money spent on bringing them up to full strength. So this episode is going to be more of doing that, building the armies back up to full strength, making sure we've got all our economy at full strength as well, and preparing for the next phase of the operation here against the Persians, which is going to be a titanic battle. I mean, this battle is going to be brutal, and it has to be timed perfectly. We've got to move all these forces in so they're all within striking distance of each other and can support each other and strike the Persians at the same time from two directions. It's going to be an absolute menace of an operational oversight to do, but we're going to do it. We are still going to do it. Spain is intrigued at what's going on here. That's why they've sent these priests in here. Oh, look at that. Oh no, they've still got them there. I wonder if Spain was to move against Prussia here on the border. That would be a wonderful fight, that would be. No, they haven't. Prussia. I think Prussia's more sent these forces down just to keep Spain at arm's length, as it were, away from their border. Prussia. If you hear any snoring in the background, my friends, it is a certain dog of mine who is in a deep sleep. Prussia moving forces from the east to the west. But for what reason? And again, sending more forces into here. Okay, that's... Why are they sending a fleet into there? I think that was into Courland, that was. Jelgava. Again, we're keeping an eye on them. We've got our spies strategically located throughout the sort of the Prussian Empire, just to keep an eye on what's the movement of troops. So they're bringing Stuttgart under firmer control. But they can't really move through this forest here from the Carpathian Mountains, as it were. Wait, whoa. Now, what are you going to do if we don't give you that? They're probably going to... They want Karelia. They give us Norway. Why would we give you Karelia and 63,000? Doesn't make any sense. No, I think we'll decline that. If it had been a straight trade between these two, perhaps. But no. I don't know why they want Karelia. Probably to bring all of this together, but I won't do that. Persia sending additional forces into the region. And they're going to we're going to be absolutely hit so hard here in Baghdad. Yeah, we're getting hit hard here. We've got to do something about this. I think we might use this army here. Ooh. No, I think we'll back away from that one. We'll just... Oh, they can try and engage that fleet there. We've got a fleet in the port there. Oh my goodness. Ooh. They're not going to trigger that battle. We're not ready for that battle just yet. No, if they want to move into there, that's absolutely fine. We have to hold our nerve here. That's a third army this Mughals are sending in here. Oh, this is going to get incredibly difficult for us. With the support of the Mughals as well. We're still not ready yet. We're still not ready for this fight. No, almost at full strength here. This army's back. So we're not ready for that just yet. If they want to move into here, that's absolutely fine. But this army's not ready by a long shot. We will strike in our own time. Once Venice falls, once its capital falls, that'll be the end of them. So again, we just have to hold our nerve here. Ah, look at that. Got this fleet here. We can't move out of here, but it's going to keep them quiet here at least. We've blockaded this here, so they can't come out of here without engaging this fleet here. I think this fleet would win, hands down. That's a tough fight though. That is there, and they've got two ship lines here, so we probably need to bring another fleet in here. Now we've got the Mughals moving in as well, so this is going to be a pretty brutal fight, to be honest with you. We've got to get ourselves organised here. That's at full strength now. Got these gentlemen here, which I think we'll put into this region, into this army here. We'll then put two more. These two cannon will go into here then. Beg your pardon, into here. Finish that army off there. Yeah, we know this has been struck hard here behind Baghdad. We've got to hold our nerve. We are going to use this army here to mop up the rest of these forces. That's excellent here. Let's bring this up to full strength. These armies have to be brought up to full strength as well. That's absolutely critical. Oh, too much damage here. Not too much. This army, however, no, it's not too much either, to be honest with you. Consider what we've been through. That's nothing at all, really, to be honest with you. Just a few minor skirmishes by the looks of it. I think we'll send this army down as well, just to support. They moved that army out here. They moved this army out here. And we've got a lot of sort of fragmented armies here. As you can see, nothing is not at full strength for some reason. So we might use. I think what we'll do is we'll use this force here to repair these armies. These two forces here are more than ready, and also this army here is more than ready. Oh, look at that! And we'll bring them a little bit closer into the fight here. And this army here as well will do the same. They're not going to move through this mountain pass here with these armies here. So we'll just put these here, just touching each other here. That's a powerful force there as well. We do need to bring these up to full strength. We've hit them real hard here, so they can't really do anything here. Oh, excellent counter spying. Oh, that's fantastic. He's really good. Right, let's get ourselves prepared here now for a battle. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that all these armies are at full strength. If they don't have the forces, they're going to have them put in there. So these gentlemen do need probably some additional. What do we have in this army here we can use? I think we have 2 additional cavalry units in here. This army here, what do we have in here? Probably another additional cavalry unit in there as well, I think. So now they're at full strength. These 2 armies are at full strength. This army here. Probably another cannon. Let's get 4 cannon in there. Here, this army again. We're just preparing this. Oh my goodness me! We definitely need more cannon in there. So another cannon in this army as well. This army, I think this army is full strength. Yes, indeed it is. What about here? I think an additional infantry unit. Go in there. What about here? What the blazes is this here? So we can disband this. We'll put in the 24-pounder howitzer instead. Wow. Now we're at full strength here along this line. That's what we need. Exactly what we need to do. We've also got this army here in Derbent here in Chechnya. I think it's just protecting. What it was protecting this flank here in case the Persians moved in along the sort of Caspian Sea here to try and take us. So we move that army there and just block it that route. These armies will still be at full strength. Mind you, this one won't do it any great time here. We need some more line infantry being put into here. That's excellent to see. We've got 126,000 here, we've got 46,000 here, so our money is dropping here because, of course, we're increasing the size of our army. Look, that's dropped by 20,000 or jumped by 20,000 already. So, you know, we're starting to really bite into our economy here with the number of troops we've got. But again, our economy isn't at full strength either. But we're almost ready here. We're almost, once these armies here are at full strength, and my goodness me, they're taking. Oh, wait a minute, they are at full strength. I do beg your pardon. Yes, they are. Fantastic. So we get a new general in here. This army's now ready. This army here. Not at full strength. We need that there to become a regiment here. The blazes, why hasn't this been brought up to full strength here? I'm not sure. Probably because they've been engaged. We need additional forces in there as well. Here, that army's in pretty good shape. These armies are definitely in good shape. I think we'll move these up here. That's more like it. And we've got this army here we're moving up. I do beg your pardon, my friends, about that. Can't move that there. We're hitting this, reading this. Let's reread this here. Still the same. That's absolutely fine. Sometimes you need to re-raid the trade line to sort of get a brand new sort of trade hit on them. I think, my friends, will be the last turn here. This has been more of a preparation episode. I think we'll leave North America and the Caribbean quiet for the moment. Nothing really going on here. We've got a powerful army in here. I think so. Yes, we have indeed. Look at that. What we do need, though, is to have another fleet for this fight in the Baltic. It's going to be pretty brutal, so I think we'll recruit. I can't recruit anything on here. I think we'll start here. Heavy first rates. That's more like it. Now, let's end the turn, my friends. Let's see what happens here in Venice. That's where the real fight's going to be. Let's end the turn. Not sure what's going on there. Ah. Nothing from Great Britain, but Spain might be up to something. Nothing yet. Can only hope that Spain attacks Prussia in some way. Ah, see now they're still moving forces here. I'm moving them up. I'm not sure they might strike against Prussia. I don't think so, but you never know. Spain are fascinated with what's going on there. Probably coming to gauge what's the fight, to be honest with you, and see what's going on. Prussia. I think they're more keeping themselves to themselves, which is a good thing in a way, but if we take Venice, it might tip the scales, you never know. But then again, we're very, very friendly with Prussia indeed. In fact, we're almost an ally with Prussia. As good as, to be honest with you. Oh, look at that, they've moved into Spanish territory. Wow, I didn't expect that. That's a gutsy move. Oh, they're saying additional forces in. I think we might move our forces, we might move our spy down into there, see what's going on. What's Persia going to do here? Persia. Again, they're moving. Gosh, they're moving really along. God, they're still feeding forces in here. Good grief. It's like they're tempting us to sort of engage them there. Oh, there's a rebellion. There's a Persian rebellion. Wow, are we starting to see dissent here in Persia? That would be an absolute wonder. Wow. They're sort of almost... Gentlemen, we're not going to... A peach we'll take, but we're not going to be giving you money for that. Not a chance, gentlemen. I'm afraid that will never happen. We've got to see what the mug hat... Here we go. Here we go. Now, they really are, I mean... Yeah, there it is. There it is. That force is just way too much. We know what the outcome of that's going to be. We just can't compete with that force there. No, gentlemen, that is going to be an absolute no. What will Venice do here? I'd imagine they move against us. I'd be very surprised if they don't. Ooh, look at that. They're hitting us here. No, gentlemen. No. To do something about the Venetians, I think, sooner rather than later. Sooner rather than later. Ah, look at that, excellent. Factory fully employed. See, the economy now started to grow here. It really started to expand now greatly. Look at that. 47,000 here. As you can see, we're starting to put together that force we've got here, just moving those troops around where we need them to be. It's exactly what we need to do here. So this force here is going to have those two cannon. And we've got... These gentlemen are going to here. Look at that. These armies are now at full strength. Now we can start striking against... We're going to cut off this Mokau force before it even reaches us. Because that's a very strong and a very powerful general as well they've got there. Another force here as well. So look like they're going to allow the Mokau to do the dirty work for them, as it were. But we're going to... How's this army here? Why is it not at full strength here? Why are we still waiting? Because we want to use this force here, this army here, to move it, strike against these here and clear up this... These forces here. That's excellent. That's fine, we know that's been destroyed here. +1, ±2 to morale in battle. Why, sir? Why? Again, contained here, but we've got a huge, significant force of our military here in one place. How are these forces here now? Can we finally strike against? We can't still. Oh, actually, we probably could with these. It's only a few minor units here that are not at full strength, but I think we can probably strike out, to be honest with you, with what we've got here. Because these armies are, oh my goodness me, these armies are ready now for a fight, I think. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to launch our final attack upon Venice. No, they're not going to accept that, are they? Because that's their last bastion here, as it were. Let's bring them in. Let's bring in all these forces here. Not at full strength at all. This army here is. So we'll just move it to here. We'll move this army in as well. Oh, that's a wonder. We might send this spy, I think, once we capture Venice. We might send them in further westwards to see what's going on here, because we've got Prussia here as well in Turin. So something has gone on here, where that's been given away to the Spanish for something else. But I think the final attack here is going to be taking place. We'll just move this force in as well, just as another backup here, just in case. But we've got enough here to deal with this. I think we'll use this force here to attack. They need the experience here. Well, that, my friends, is going to be our battle next episode, and it's going to be one where we hopefully find deal the final blow to the Venetians, who've been an absolute thorn in our side for a number of years. This is going to be our last push. It's a huge commitment by us. Look at that, nearly 30,000 men have been committed to this operation. I know it's a bit of an overkill here, but we want to get the job done. Then 30,000 troops will then be freed up for an operation elsewhere. And we're probably going to be sending some of these forces, if not all of them, into Persia and into the Mughal Empire territory. But my friends, I'm going to leave that to you. I want your advice, my friends. I want the council's advice here on what we should do. Should we then turn this huge military force we've got here of at least 4 army groups either against the Persians and finish the job there, or into the Mughal Empire? But my friends, I can end this episode here. I hope you've enjoyed it as always, my friends. Please be safe. Keep your comments coming down. All your advice has been absolutely wonderful. But until next time, my friends, bye for now.